Worst thing ever.
Up to that.
And we were chasing him, and mate, it's been released now, so I can talk about it.
Close down at that prisoners.
Yeah, we've done. I've done.
But I think it's a tourist thing.
Yeah. We've done a few films there. I did Time with Sean Bean. That was nice because I actually sat next to him like this, had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And it was a bit surreal for me because I was like,
yeah.
Fucking Sean Bean, that is.
Sean Bean, great actor though.
But he's normal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I can
he's
see that
really normal. There's no airs and graces.
He's just some great films.
Yeah. And I said to him, my favourite one was Running, purely for that car chase through Paris. And it was real.
Yeah.
He closed all these streets down. And that was, he went, there were no CJ in that.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 4, episode 4 on True Podcast with me, Paul Candlin. Now, before we start the podcast, as usual, I'd like to give thanks to Jesus, my one and only Saviour, for allowing this to happen. I want to thank him for love, for mercy, for second chances, and allowing me to do this today. And also for Michael at mkcypherfilms for building this amazing studio so I can host this show and bring some amazing guests on and hear some wonderful stories. Right, that's the intro out of the way. Now, before we get to our guest, our guest was a singer in the 90s of a band called Gemini. He was a twin, he's a singer, he's an entertainer. Let me please welcome David Smallwood. Welcome to True Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing, brother?
Thank you for having me.
Are we all good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
We was talking in the car park before we came in.
Yeah.
And I was expecting you to come from Telford this morning. And you haven't come from, where was it, Colchester?
I've come from Colchester, yeah. Well, I'm sort of living down on Mersey Island at the moment as well there. So
never heard of that. Where's
I've been down there.
Is that Essex?
Yeah, it's Essex, yeah. So it's about 10, 15 minutes from Colchester.
So with all my guests, I'd like to take you back to where it all began for you, where you grew up, your childhood, and how it all started for David Smallwood.
Okay. Yeah, well, basically, I was born in Birmingham, Smethwick, lived there till I was about 7, till we moved with my parents, my older sister, I've got an older brother, and then me and my twin brother.
What year was you growing up in Smethwick?
Well, I was born in 71, so we left there 78, so I was about 6, 7, so from birth right up till the age of 6 and 7. I've got vague memories of it, obviously, what you can remember.
What was it like back then, because compared to now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been over a few times since, because I take my parents still over there. My dad, he's 87 now, my dad, and he still go over and reminisce and all that. But he took voluntary redundancy at GKN, and then we moved to Telford. It was a new town. So we grew up there predominantly, went to school there, all that sort of stuff. Musically, my mum and dad enrolled us into private music lessons when we got to Telford. I did classical guitar lessons. My older brother did guitar, he chose that, and my twin brother and my sister did piano. But my mum was a fantastic singer, and my granddad all comes from my grandparents, all through generations through the family. My uncle was a violinist and all that. I started writing poetry when I was about 8 or 9 as well myself. So
was that when you got to Telford?
Yeah. So I wasn't really writing songs at that age.
What inspired you to write? Because obviously, even culture-wise, I can imagine it being hugely different to Smethwick, growing up in Smethwick to growing up in Telford.
Because it was a totally new town. Yeah,
enjoy a good childhood.
Yeah, that's right.
So what inspired you to write poetry?
I think just it's something within me. It was an inner thing inside your inner core. I'm quite spiritual myself. I'm not really vastly religious or anything like that. But I used to sit and watch all the, the Ten Commandments and the Jesus films when I was growing up and stuff like that. So I was quite spiritual. I'm quite deep as well, really. Good. So, yeah, I just started putting pen to paper at that age. I don't know why. And I was very close to my granddad as well, growing up. He passed when I was 13. And he took me under his wing a lot more than my other siblings for some reason. I don't know why. But it was very... So, yeah, I just started writing and putting pen to paper, and I enjoyed it. I like to play a bit with words and do play on words with things. and then playing guitar. And I used to look at people, other artists that inspired me. You know, I grew up on so many different genres of music. You know, anything from sort of Connie Francis, Neil Sedaka, Neil Diamond, Elvis.
I was going to ask that.
All the Motown. I'm into absolutely everything.
There was quite a lot there. So you started poetry when you moved to Telford.
Yeah, I was writing bits of poetry. Yeah.
And what age would that have been, roughly?
About 8, I would have said,
9.
yeah.
Because I remember 8, 9, I was massively into drawing, and I used to copy like birthday cards and Christmas cards. And because my dad was an artist as well, he could draw anything, and I was quite good, to be fair. I don't know why it stopped. I couldn't draw a pencil stick now, but it was always football and drawing for me. I don't know what the fuck happened, but drawing sort of stopped. Yeah. Football sort of took precedent as I got older. But I like music wise, the best I could play was a triangle, and I probably even dropped a stick on that as well. Yeah. So lyrically, I was pretty much screwed. But I always loved music, and I remember the first album I bought was Musical Youth, and my dad bought me this because I used to love. He said as a kid I used to get up and dance to this one song. It's Musical Youth. Pass the Dutchie on the left.
Birmingham band as well.
They are as well. And, you know, I'd love to get people like you guys on. Obviously, we got you. I'd love to get your brother on as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
even as a duo.
Yeah.
Because I know as we get further into the conversation, you're starting to make a comeback.
Yeah. With
new music and with Gemini and obviously you're doing some solo stuff yourself. So we're getting to all that further into the conversation. But at what age did you like discover? Obviously, you was writing poetry, but what time did you discover actually I can sing as well?
It's a good question because I started obviously having classical guitar lessons, and my teacher, I did all my grades. You know, as you do your exams, passed all them, and I could read and write music. Words, it was just in the background a little bit more really. I moved on to playing drums as well. I did drum kit, I did all my grades on that as well, and Michael was doing the same. And then all four of us, we all played, me and my siblings. So my mum's dream was for us all to be in a band together. She was going to call us Jugadami. She had the name from a very early age.
What was the name?
Jugadami.
Where did the name come from?
Because it's my sister's Julie, my older brother's Gary, I'm David, and then there's Michael. So in age order, so it's the first two initials of each Christian name: J-U-G-A. D-A in M-I, Jugadami.
That's clever.
So she got it from that. And but we never really did anything. But then me and Michael really started working together a bit more then, recording.
But it's not about succeeding, just about
enjoying it.
Like just doing something, getting something going.
Yeah.
Coming together, coming up with a plan. Yeah. If it works, brilliant. If not, I don't know, at least we tried.
Yeah.
Let's just keep try again.
Yeah.
Until something does work.
That's right.
And the fact that it was a family.
Yeah, exactly. Well, music was in the genes. It was in the blood, really. So we grew up on it. You know, we were all entertainers. So we all used to get together at Christmases and all that family gets. It was great. Just really good fun. But singing-wise, I didn't really think, I could sing. And it just came naturally, really, because my mum was a great singer. She could have made it, but she didn't really have the confidence to go on stage and stuff. Whereas there's my auntie, her sister was a tap dancer and all that. So she did a lot of, sort of theatre work and stuff herself, but Mum didn't have the confidence. But and then it was around about 17, 18, we started singing together, me and Michael, did our first recording together in the studio. That was in White Rabbit Studios in Bridge North.
Okay.
We were about 17, 18, and we did a cover of You Team Air Everything by The Real Thing, and we've got it on tape.
Okay. And what was the build up to, like you and your brother saying, okay, we're going to form a band, we're going to go to this recorder, we're going to record this certain song. What was how? Yeah,
it was just what we were going to do, and we had sort of the jobs as well and stuff like that. You know, we worked for my dad in his shop for a while and stuff, and then he had to sell it because the lease wasn't being renewed and all. There's a few little.
What shop was that?
Well, he had a video shop. He had the first video hire shop in Telford when we moved to
really?
Telford. Yeah,
that's quite acclaimed, like an historic. Telford history.
Yeah. Wellington video. I was in Wellington, a town called Wellington in Telford.
We was talking just off air for the viewers, and we was talking literally just about this, about the films, and your dad had a video rental
shop. Yeah.
So what was your go-to films as a
I
kid?
used to go there because I was only about, how old have I been? 81, I think. I'd have been about 10, 11. So I'd sit at the back and there was a Betamax video recorder, the old one, VHS. And he also did Video 2000 as well at that time, which we only had a few films out. But I was watching all the Bruce Lee films and all sorts of things. Yeah, The Champ and all that, all the great classics. Some of the horror stuff as well, which he wouldn't allow me to watch. But I used to sneak them in. But they used to scare the life out of me, I remember all of them at the time. It was just when zombies...
Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you know when you watch them back and you look at how stupid they really are, but at the time...
It frightened you to death. You think it's real, don't you? You think they're going to come through your window at night?
I didn't want to go to bed in case they come from the bottom of bed and got me.
Yeah.
And it was that, remember that song? 1, 2, Freddy's come. That song.
I know,
with the kids doing the skipping rope.
Yeah,
Because I remember what...
Cypher Films is an independent production company based in Enfield, London, UK. We produce documentaries, short feature films, social media videos, and provide photography studio space for weddings, christenings, and corporate videos.
There was 2 films that I used to constantly rent that I could never watch. I could never watch all the way through. One was American Werewolf in London. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Where he transformed and the famous song. I couldn't watch that. And the other one was, believe it or not, Michael Jackson and Thriller. You know when they come breaking through the house and the woman's scared, and then and then he break out
She's
into a
screaming,
song.
and then
that was. I'll get to a certain point.
And they're coming out the ground and all that.
And my dad was like, "Are you going to watch it this time?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I am."
It's all right. I remember Poltergeist as well. You remember The Exorcist and all that. But even when I was an adult watching that, it used to frighten the life out of me.
There was another one I used to love, and that was, which I was talking about off air, was Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Because when I got my first big break, and it was at Warner Brothers in Leavesden.
Okay.
And I went there. It was completely an accident. I'm not even going to get into it because it's not my podcast. This is yours. But let's just say that's when my big break happened, and it looked just so. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. I'm a proper tourist. And I was expecting to see Roger Rabbit run out. You know what I mean? It was just a time where I'll probably never forget, especially because it was a film, that Fantastic Beast, that catapulted me into the stratosphere, and off we went. But yeah, when I look back for the times at the Video Man and the way he used to come out every Friday in this big brown Cavalier, he used to lift the boots up, and there was all these films, and that was it. That was your weekend set.
Yeah.
And as he got older, he went to Blockbusters and we used to go down there and get a film. So what year did the shop finally stop for your family?
Well, then he turned it into because the video business was sort of like hit a bit rock bottom, when it was like, Blockbusters come out, you couldn't compete with people like that. Cinema took over and lots of other things, and then DVDs were starting to be talked about and all that. So people were just doing their own home entertainment had gone, So he turned the one shop into a spa shop, a grocery shop, because he'd had an off license there 30 years before he even had it.
So it's gone back to its original roots.
Yeah, so he opened that, and he did the video just from the back a little bit, just through a hatch in the wall for a little bit, and then he just disbanded all the videos altogether. And then he just had this grocery off license, so. That was about 1990, sold that then. And that's when me and Michael was really starting to put a lot into it. My parents were really backing us with the music. We were rehearsing every day vocally. We realised we could sing, not to the level we are now, because obviously your voice matures. And, for all the singing we've done over the years, obviously it's enhanced it a lot more. So now we probably are proper singers. But then it was just a case of, you're learning your trade, you're learning your
Because you're
craft.
a twin as well, you're twins.
Yeah, identical twins, yeah.
Did that have a better effect for you guys, harmonising?
It did. Yeah. We'll harmonise because we know exactly where we're going with each other. We know each other inside out, really, like that, But there are ups and downs over the years, like all siblings do. But Michael had already written a bunch of songs as well. He's a great pianist. He was very clever with what he did. And I was into my words and lyrics and stuff. So we'd written a few little songs together as well. Not on the level that we do now, obviously. But, you find it in your feet with like anything when you're learning your craft like that. So then we did a few covers and we went to the studio and recorded a few songs. And then we started doing a few sessions, and we started hitting London more and approaching management.
Can't stand the place.
I couldn't stand
the
it,
place.
and I couldn't stand the record companies either the way it was then, as it was, because then you'd have to do a demo and post it off, and they wouldn't take unsolicited material, as you know, with things. So you wouldn't even get a phone call back. You'd never get anything. You'd have to send.
I remember the story of Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
Before he was discovered, and he was doing exactly.
Yeah.
He said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
He was constantly sending in demo tapes and demos.
Yeah.
He even plunked himself in reception. I think this is the story. Maybe wrong. So maybe getting a load of you. Sorry if I've got this wrong. I've got Jamiroquai fans now screaming it. You've got it wrong.
But that's probably what he did do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That, yeah?
The story was he was just. He said, "I'm not moving until you've listened to that tape," and then listen to it. And if you think about it, when was it Virtual Insanity, his first one? Way before its time.
Yeah,
I mean, sound,
terrific.
Video, message.
Yeah.
Was it 94, 95?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. Yeah, maybe just.
Was it born before 93,
Around
94?
then, yeah, so I remember the video coming.
And
was he in that cube thing with the room moving all around the place?
Around and he was dancing.
Yeah.
And
What a great mover he was as well.
Michael Jackson.
His moves, yeah, exactly. Inspired by him.
Because if you think about it, I was watching a documentary called Motown. I'm sure it was on Sky Documentaries.
Someone's mentioned this. I haven't seen it.
Brilliant, because it starts at the actual house where Motown started in Detroit. I can't remember who the guy was.
Berry Gordy. Yeah.
And he was basically saying how all these artists used to come to this one house in Detroit on the street and practice music. People like Stevie Wonder, all the big artists. At this one, Temptations, all at this one place. Because Stevie Wonder was about 14.
14 when he gets signed to Motown, yeah.
And before that, Elvis was huge, because it was all gospel music, really, in the Deep South.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't Motown. Motown and rhythm and blues didn't exist. And then I don't know when it was, but there was a break off, probably about the late 40s, where it became like rhythm and blues and R&B.
Yeah,
that's where it was born.
That's right.
And Motown. But people like Elvis were still listening to black gospel music, and that's the origins of.
A lot of his influences in his music was from that. Yeah.
Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. There was the likes of
like Ray Charles. You mentioned
Ray Charles, Diana Ross.
Yeah,
there was all gospel singers, and it was I don't know where it happened, but it was sort of like into the late 40s, and then you had Motown into 60s, 70s, 80s, and do I dare say it, the 90s.
Yeah.
Where you saw people like Billy Ocean,
Tina
Turner. Yeah. Still releasing hit after hit record.
Yeah.
So
Lionel Richie and people like that as well.
Just like meeting MK along the journey that you're meant to be on, that God's put you on for a reason. Half of these people that were discovered on accident, Stevie Wonder, have hadn't gone to a certain, because all the parents were against it. They had to go to school and learn education and do what they need to do, work to earn money. Yeah. But they didn't. They went off to this house and played music.
Yeah.
And to the parents, it was like, what you doing, wasting your time, wasting it. When you look at it now, you think, you've just made a legacy that's lasted 80 years. Yeah. So it's going to last probably forever because of the sound.
Yeah.
Imagine if that hadn't have happened. And what music.
That sound of Motown is it's sound unto itself, isn't it? You know, it's never going to be replicated at all. And it's weird because when you say about us being signed, when we went to London, we signed to a producer called Ian Levine, who was doing a lot of take that, and he was a big Northern Soul DJ in Blackpool, massive, very famous with that, and he got a lot of success. He made a lot of money. His first lot of money with is it Fiacre Trench? I think it was. Who did High Energy, the song.
Okay.
He went to number 2 in the charts here and stuff, and and we signed to him, and then he did an album with Paul Young from the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got booted at the studio. We'd signed a record deal to EMI. We were recording all the demos for tracks for an album or a single to be chosen. He booted us out to get Paul Young in, and Paul Young did an album of covers of Motown stuff. Reach Out will be there and all that. And Holland Dozy Holland, Lamont Dozier flew over, and I met him at the studio, and there's me at like 23.
Oh, wow.
I think he was one of the, because they were the main writers for Diana Ross and all of them. All the big hits was all Holland Dozy Holland, and there he was. It was just crazy.
I remember when I first when I was on Fantastic Beasts and I was sitting in the green room with like Eddie Redmayne and
Wow.
and Ezra, and we had Mads Mikkelsen, Jude Law, and I remember praying I remember just taking myself off, and because of the genre of the film, just saying, Lord, please have your hand over me, blah blah blah, just a quick prayer, and I did it for about 2-3 weeks, and I did it once, and I opened up, and that Jude Law was there in this like he was wearing a hat and a big grey coat, and he was like, "Are you praying?"
Cypher Films is an independent production company based in Enfield, London, UK. We produce documentaries, short feature films, social media videos, and provide photography studio space for weddings, christenings, and corporate videos.
That one is a bit wrong. And I just said, "Yeah." He went, I just walked away. I was like, so good or bad? But he was like
intrigued.
Afterwards, really intrigued. And he just went, And he walked away. Anyway, after the film, I said thanks I learned a lot from him. And he just said, like, just go for it. You know, you're here now.
Yeah.
Go for it. And I did. I didn't look back. I just went for it.
How did you feel about meeting people like that?
I was just going to say, but when you look around, after a while, it just becomes normal. But when you're meeting people constantly, I was on face to face with Samuel L. Jackson.
Wow.
I've been face to face with Tom Cruise. I've spent time with Hugh Grant as his body double in The Regime. I was face to face with Titanic.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Woman.
My
mind's gone blank.
Kate
Winslet.
Kate Winslet, yeah.
Well, she was a producer, she's an executive producer of The Regime that's currently showing on Sky.
Wow.
And I did a lot of scenes with her, and you look at her and you think, oh wow,
yeah.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
much like this show, people believing in you and giving you the opportunity and seizing it when you can.
Yeah.
So how did it go from, like, with you and your brother? How did it go from the early 90s when you was in this recording studio in Bridgnorth, was it?
We started at Bridgnorth.
To go into from there to EMI.
Yeah. Well, then we approached a management company in London, and James Lawrence, and he wanted to take us on, but we didn't really sign a contract with him or anything, so we were still free agents. And then he took us to see a guy who was the head of publishing for Warner Brothers, Stuart Feeney, and we went into his office and he said, I'm going to see Ian Levine next week. Maybe I should take you to meet him. We'd heard of him. We thought, oh, fantastic. Straight away, we sang a cappella for him. Funny enough, we did I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. That's the song we did in the studio for him. And he went, just do that again. Do it again. Then he wanted to sign us, but we were young, naive, and blah, blah. So we signed a lot of our rights to him. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And and then within 2 weeks, he phoned us up and said, EMI want to come down and see you. And Julian Close, the head of Van Arthur, and we were like, oh my word, is this really happening? Like you're saying with yourself, what you're saying.
When you go to pinch yourself.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Yeah,
when was the transition? Because I must have been out at the time.
Yeah, I know. It happened so quick. It really did. I thought this was meant to be. Yeah. So it was great. Great times. We signed a 5-album deal. 7 years.
What year did you sign?
94. So it'd be 30 years this year. August 94, we signed the deal. First release was September 95.
Because I remember them years being huge for music. I mean, I was just coming into high school. I think I was about 14.
Yeah.
And I was, at that time, I was more into R&B. So it was more your Tupac. It was more the American stuff, really.
Yeah.
Because I grew up listening to Motown with my dad. My first album was Musical Youth. Late 80s, it went to sort of like Bros.
Yeah.
New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
MC Hammer.
Yeah.
All them.
Yeah, that's the film.
And then after them, it was sort of like 90s dance, because you had people like KLF.
Yeah.
What a band they were.
Yeah, I know. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Again, someone that came out of nowhere, didn't really believe in themselves all that much. They just wanted to laugh.
Yeah, I know.
Two guys wanted to laugh.
Yeah.
And they conquered the world without
huge,
massive.
Massive.
But when you look back at some of their videos, when you do, it looks quite satanic. Do you know what I mean? Some of the clothes that they're wearing and the marching and
I know.
I just thought actually I've seen a difference as I've got older. I've seen a different side to KLF that I didn't notice when I was younger.
When you watch it now, you think
because you got innocence, but as you get older, you think actually, what was you trying to portray then?
Yeah,
great music. I'm not trying to diss KLF because creatively brilliant. So I was listening to all that sort of stuff. But I remember your band coming into the charts and because at the time you had E17, you had Take That, you had 911 and all the rest of them.
Backstreet Boys and all them.
Backstreet Boys, Backstreet Boys. And I remember Gemini. I remember your music. I remember your tracks. And I remember thinking, oh God, I'd love to be a singer. I'd love to be good at something other than football. I'd love to be able to do something other than football. Yeah. Because my friends were playing football and they were always better than me. And I could never sing. I'd never had a musical instrument, bone in my body, nothing. So to be able to like listen from your side, from my side.
You had a triangle.
Yeah. Thanks for that, MK. Cheers, man.
You got a triangle anyway.
Surely I can be trusted with a tambourine soon, can't I?
I'll get the tambourine. You play the triangle. You're better than me.
I love the guy, and he's my boss. I said, cheers, MK.
But would you like if you could be some people have talked about this to me. What career would you choose if you could choose any one? Would it be a top footballer now, say like like a Foden be in his position, or I don't know, Ed Sheeran, or
for me, if anyone knows me off in normal life, I've always wanted to be famous, and the one is still there. It's not gone. It's just changed from the one is gone into the one still there, but for different reasons. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Whereas before it was all, oh, look at me. Oh, world, look at me. Look what I can do. Look at me. Yeah. Whereas now, if I can achieve a certain level of success, being it what you deem success to be, whether it's financial or whatever, or influence or whatever it is, and I can change people's lives without financially missing it myself. If I can there's a few charities that I support over in Romania.
That's fantastic.
If I can go over to them and build 100 dog pens and give them money to self-sustain for a year, my job's done. When I can go to my sister and pay out for mortgage and not miss it, my job's done. When I can send my mum on holiday, like, do you want to go on holiday, mum? Because you look a bit stressed. To be able to do that.
Yeah.
Whether it's through fame, the word fame, whether it's through what fame, the power it brings, the influence it brings, whatever it is, use it. Yeah, it's not about me anymore. It's about what I can bring to the table. It's about do you know what I mean? It's about what I can give to other people. Yeah, yeah. It's what I can bring to what I can bring to this studio, to this table, to this show, to the viewers.
It's having a purpose. It's having a purpose because, like, one time, someone called me that we need to cover an event. Yeah, and I was like, I wouldn't be available. Like, send us someone who's coming from MK Cypher. I was like, that's when I realized it's not about me.
No, that's right. And it's wonderful. That attitude is wonderful attitude to have as well. Like you said there.
But like with me and MK, found out there's not many people that can keep up with us. Me and MK. If we say we're going to do something, we'll do it. If we say we want to make a success of something, if we have to go, I mean, it's going to take a good 12 months, I reckon, to make True Podcasts and Cypher Films a big success. But that's the aim. That's the aim. To do it. We can't do it without commitment to ourselves. Without me coming down here to do the best I can, to host the best show that I can, to ask you the right questions, but also to bring more positivity to the viewers that are watching this for an hour or an hour and a half, whatever time they take out of their life to watch this podcast. I want them to take something away from this so they can implement it in their life. It's not just a bit of entertainment for an hour, because they can get that off the MSM. I don't want to be like that. This is a podcast area where we can have a chat. If you want to swear, fucking swear. No one really cares. Right. Is what it is. If you don't want to swear, don't swear. if you want to talk about politics and how much of a fucking waste of time they are, and do so. Yeah, say what you want. There's no censorship, which is
that's good.
A big problem nowadays. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want you to express yourself.
Yeah, of course.
I want you to use this time to also reflect on what the achievements that you've made in your life. Because often we take that for granted.
Yeah,
we don't look back and appreciate the chances and opportunities that we've done.
Totally right. Yeah.
And I like I said before, from coming across as a fan, if that's actually what you want to call it, which I was a big fan of the music in the 90s. It's really interesting for me, really insight to hear an artist who's been signed by EMI, who's been around all the big names and experienced the professional side, should I say.
Yeah, and if we inspire anybody, because the one thing is with us is our upbringing, the family, we're not materialistic in that way at all. Yeah, it's great to have nice things, but I think if you're down to earth and you're grounded, and our family always kept us grounded, you know, I've always wanted to help people as well. You know, somebody said to me once, your generosity is going to be your downfall. I thought, no, because at least I can go to my grave happy or content with myself. That I've, you know, and like when you mentioned that about helping people, you know, who haven't got much and stuff, I think it's great. And if you can inspire people, it's great. You know, I wasn't really so much into it because of the TV stuff that we did or anything like that. I was more creative. I much preferred the creative side, being in the studio and stuff, and inspiring other people and you know. But to have an avenue like that was great for us. You know, we were lucky. We were one of the lucky ones. But you know, obviously we had the talent there, and it was spotted, and it's great to share that with everybody. You know. And I'm a big believer in bringing the new talent up as well. If you spot anyone or you see anyone or you can help them in any way, it's great. I think it's fantastic.
I think it's important not only to stay grounded, for one, but to have an important family network, which is what you had.
We did.
When you obviously made the change to Telford, that was your parents trying to give you a better
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the same for my parents. My parents grew up in Birmingham and they was offered a house over in Tamworth and they took it.
Yeah.
To give me and my sister a better chance. And I was a bit guilty for a while for living too much of a safe life, not really venturing too far out my comfort zone.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Not until later life. But it was all, even now, you know, none of my achievements that I've achieved would have happened without a family network.
Yeah, of course.
I know not everyone's blessed with that.
When you say safe place and you're in, was that because you in inhibitions, you had yourself at a time, like, there's
just
confidence
point,
or
it's safe, aren't you? You haven't got a lot to worry about.
Right.
There's a lot of people haven't had that safe base, that cornerstone to build from.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So, and I've got admiration for people who've achieved a lot more than me. I've not really achieved half of what people do when they haven't got that cornerstone to build from.
Yeah, that's right.
But you, like your brother, you went to America. You've made music videos in America. You've been all over the world. So what was America like for you as a person? What was the experience like itself?
Brilliant experience, fantastic. A little bit pretentious in places, I suppose, to a point, like it is. You know what America's like.
I lived in New York, so I was America's biggest fan.
Yeah.
Until I went.
Until you went there. I'm a bit like that now, a little bit. But that's one place I want to go to in New York. I've never been there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Well, EMI phoned us up. It was Paula from the TV and the video side of everything, and she phoned our manager, and our manager phoned and said, "You're going to LA to shoot your first video for the first single." We're like, "What?" Wow. We thought it was just going to be a house down the road in Chiswick or somewhere. LA. Minibus come and pick us up. And it's funny because the guy who was from the chauffeur company who picked us up is this minibus thing, yeah? But it was all kitted out with everything and TVs, everything, luxury thing, yeah, leather, all that stuff. Picked us up from the producer's house in Levine on the morning to go to Heathrow to fly out to do the video. And he'd had Stevie Wonder in there the week before. He would come over to
okay. Whoa. So you just name dropped a huge name there. So I bet you'd been looking at your brother thinking, you've done it. Right.
mkcypher Films is an independent production company based in Enfield, London, UK. We produce documentaries, short feature films, social media videos, and provide photography studio space for weddings, christenings, and corporate videos.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
We're going to America. We've cracked whatever shell needed to be cracked.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder. Was that?
He was in the bus.
On the bus.
He'd been to the UK around London, and he'd driven him around a couple of places while he was there. So, and me and Michael thinking. We didn't ask the driver which seat he sat in or anything, because I was thinking, what if you're sitting here on mine?
Who cares? Who cares, were you?
Yeah.
Like Jude Law says to me, like, you're here.
Yeah.
You're doing it. Don't look back, just do it.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
do you
what
know,
you gotta
I actually even took a picture on my phone. There was a day where I sat in the car and I thought, if all this goes tits up, I looked on Indeed for landscaping jobs and there was loads on there. So I thought, okay, if all this goes tits up, I can always rely on Indeed to fall back on something that
of course,
I know
yeah.
to reset myself.
Yeah.
Good while it lasted. At least I give it a go.
Yeah.
But luckily for me, 4.5 years down the line, not only are we still there, but MK saw something in me, enough in me to say, okay, I'm going to give this guy a chance.
Yeah.
Which is a big responsibility for someone to build this at his own expense, create all of this, and then go on then, Paul, you host the show.
Yeah, exactly. This is
wow.
your path. This is your path, then, isn't it? I believe our paths are written in to a certain extent for us. And the journey that you're on now, obviously, now this journey that I'm back on now with my brothers, feels like it was meant to be, and things. I mean, I've been where you've been. I've been rock bottom, and I've been high up as well with things. So personally and work wise as well. So yeah. I get where people are at with all that, and life is difficult. Life is difficult, and you just want to try and do the best you can. And like you say, seizing opportunities when you can.
That's the key: is spotting the opportunity, but also having the balls to say, okay, I'm going to go for this.
Yeah, of course.
Or you can say, nah, maybe not this time. I'll do it another time. But that other time may not come around again.
Yeah, yeah.
For Michael to say to me, we've got this studio. Do you want to give it a go?
Tamworth, and I knew you were Midlands when I heard your accent.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first heard myself on camera back.
I hated it when
I was in I did some audience, a guest for Jeremy Vine.
Oh, right. Okay.
The reason I did it because you can ask fucking questions. I thought if I can't ask a question on camera, what fucking chance have I got to be an actor?
Yeah.
So I did it. Didn't get paid. So I was going to London at my own expense, getting fucking parking fines left, right, and centre. Never drove in London before in my life. So I was just rocking up to London, central London, fucking dumping the car, going to Jeremy Vine at 7 o'clock. I'm coming back to fucking more tickets and a bastard. What's the name? Holiday. So I think, bollocks! It cost me an absolute fortune because it was pre-recorded by an hour.
So yeah, we went to LA and shot the video there for 5 days. Not there for long enough. Worked every day, and the security guard out there, we got driven around in this bloody like caravanette, big motorhome thing. Yeah, shot it on Malibu Beach, Venice Beach, and bits and bobs everywhere. Great video, really enjoyed it. But we were just that tired, and the guy said on the last night we finished, he said, "You fly home tomorrow," and this was on the Saturday. He said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you want to go to the Viper Room, which is Johnny Depp's club at the time, the nightclub in LA?" And we were that knackered, but our manager, who was our day-to-day manager, Colin, she went, "No, boys, coming back to those, you're not doing none of that stuff." And it was like, "Oh, God, all right." I was too tired anyway. But we never, there again, opportunities that you could have took, have gone in and you don't know you're going to meet, or anything else could come from things, or you could have gone bad, anything like that. But it was a great video.
How old? What age was you doing when you was doing
23,
America?
24. Yeah,
oh, wow.
so
it was
great time, and then we come back and we released this single and we went on a big 3-month tour.
What year was this, 95?
95, yeah, September 95. So, yeah, it was good times. It was great, so, yeah. Don't regret anything. But obviously, now we're getting old, when we got older, you appreciate more back then.
What was your biggest crowd that you played to?
Probably 60,000. It was the Hallam FM Roadshow in the summer. The Spice Girls were on. They'd just gone number one.
So was that 96?
Yeah, 96, but 95 they'd come out with some stuff before Wannabe come out, I think.
Really?
Yeah. They were on it. We did a few road shows with them anyway. It might be 96 though, actually, when we did that road show. But some of the Radio 1 roadshows, 20, 30,000 and all that. We did the PJ and Duncan tour with them, supported them when they were PJ and Duncan for on the deck.
We were just saying, to make a #1 record within the first 4 bars, really, you've got to have the audience attention within the first 4 bars, because you haven't got a hit record.
That's right.
So if you think about all the big records like Rick Astley, Your Temptations, Four Tops.
Yeah. You said like Johnny B. Good and things like that.
Yeah.
All those old classics.
Even right up to like your 80s, your people, like you say, your Rick Astley's. As soon as a song, or Billy Ocean, as soon as the song starts within the first few seconds, it's got you.
Yeah.
Whether it's a riff, whether it's a beat, whether it's a drum beat, anything.
Yeah. That hook it's got to have. Yeah.
So that's right, isn't it? Within the first 4 bars.
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah.
You
got to, well, now yourself, and you're driving around or you're in a shopping centre or anything, something comes on the radio, straight away, it gets you straight away. All the classic hits are all like that, aren't they? A lot, like you said, but a lot of the Motown stuff was as well. My Girl and stuff, Temptations, I mean, look at that.
Classic. And it was a song. It was a song that was nearly benched as well.
Yeah.
Because it was amazing.
Yeah.
Just listening to the history of one song.
Yeah.
And that's just like one of many that were nearly benched.
Yeah.
If they had been benched, what would music would have been?
Yeah, exactly.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So for you, when you returned back from America, was everything still in full force? Was you still in full flow?
Yeah, full flow. Yeah. So there was a campaign to promote the single, because then obviously, I mean, all our singles.
What song?
Even
was
though
that?
You Broke My Heart, that was our first single. Yeah, it was like a ballad, and we'd done all that, and we come back. And we did an 81 PA tour to promote it. A lot of TVs and stuff, and magazine stuff, and all that, and press stuff.
So I remember the magazine was Smash Hits, wasn't it?
Yeah, Smash Hits at the time, Top of the Pops one, and all that, and there was loads. Yeah, we did one for, what was the magazine we did? They come to the house, my parents' house actually, where they still lived at the old house, in the garden, and did a photo shoot and a feature on us and stuff, and that was crazy. Yeah, and then we just went out and started touring all around the place, road shows, gigs, and everything, promoting it, and yeah, that's what we did. But all our singles, when you look back, my mum and dad have got them all stashed away. They're all in the loft of that somewhere. All the memorabilia that we had, it's all cassettes and CDs.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, vinyl had gone then. It's obviously made a comeback now.
I was going to say, a lot of people are now starting to recollect everything that mum and dad was once collecting in the 60s and 70s. And he's still got them. But he still loves to add to the collection. Even so, I've got a good friend called Gaz Tuck. A good friend of mine, and he does in his spare time, because he runs a gardening company.
Right.
To go out and buy LPs from different shops and different. He loves, like I said, 70s riff. He loves people like Les Chic and.
Oh right, okay. Noel Rodgers.
Yeah. That's his genre, funky house and stuff like that. So he still loves the vinyl, whipping out there, and spinning the records. Loves it.
I bought a load from a charity shop in Colchester the other week.
Okay.
Yeah, and you got them dirt cheap, Tom Jones and all sorts of. I thought, well, I'll have that for the money. The album, all on vinyl, and some of our songs have been sold on eBay and on the internet and stuff as well. People show me on vinyl as well. And I've never owned any of our songs on vinyl.
See, that's got to be one to add to collector.
Yeah, it's got to be, But I love vinyl. I just love the authenticity of it. Drop that needle on the record and just crackling. Yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah,
it's just like, I can't believe that 43's come round as quick as what it has.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about this nostalgia, it feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm scared that I'm standing like my dad. I get that, but it's gone. It's gone that quick.
Yeah, it does.
We've been dressing like my dad.
Yeah.
Shirts, fiery shirts, and
No,
everything.
you come on, man. He's not really. But yeah, it's right. Life is so short. I remember when I was 18, my mum had organised his 18th birthday party for me and my twin brother. Obviously, we're the same age, identical twins. You have to be. Well, I hadn't met him till then.
Do you know what? I find nowadays anything goes.
Do you ever have arguments of who came first?
Arguments, don't get me started on them.
Do you know? Great question, MK.
Yeah. You can ask him that. He'll answer it next time. I'll tell you. But yeah, we were 18. And my uncle said, "Do you know what he said, lad?" He said, "Cherish these moments here, because from 18 now till 21, it'll fly. From 21 to 30, it'll fly. Then that's it."
And that's it.
And you just think, you know, to listen to it at the time. You bat things off when you're younger. It's so much easier, don't you? You know, you're a bit sort of like irresponsible, and you'd make all your mistakes and all that sort of stuff, and you don't realise. But I tell you, how it's gone so quick. Like, it's 30 years since we signed the record deal, to be mine, I was just saying about. That seems like last week.
When you say that, 30 years, you go think, what?
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like at all.
When did that happen?
Yeah, when did that go?
Was it out?
That's right, you know what I mean?
And you think of like, so what am I, 43? I've probably got, if you flip that again, I've probably got that again at most, at best.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
So that's sort of like, ooh.
Well, that time again, I'll be as old as my dad.
I've got to...
He's now. Look at him, he's in a wheelchair. I'm thinking, Jesus, I've got that to come.
I think 2 years ago, someone put on Instagram that, do you know that if you're born in 93, you're 30 years old? And people go shocked.
Yeah.
It's just saying it though. You know, when you look at it, but you say 30 years, you're like,
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Like 2004, 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? See, it is. Life is too short, isn't it? When you say that, like, not, you know, 94, you're 30 years old. 94 to me is...
When
it's
you
like
started,
last week, wasn't it? It's like...
When you started singing.
Because that's... For me,
and the full-grown adults.
94, Jesus, that was only last year. I'm thinking, no, 30 years ago, it's amazing. It's just crazy how life is too short, isn't it? You got to...
So coming off that, what age was it for you when the lights turned off and the crowds weren't there no more?
Well, it wasn't so much the crowds weren't there, because we're getting a big response with this comeback now that we're going to be doing, you know. So the fan base was always there, but we just got very despondent because we knew we were, you know, people were being selected with the trees to us, and we did get ripped off for a lot of money, but we'd signed a lot of our rights away because you're excited, you're thinking, oh, this is it, we make massive and blah blah blah.
That's the same.
It's a
You
bit of
hear
a
that all
resource
the time.
business, yeah.
There was a band called the Bay City Rollers.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's only recently,
yeah,
believe it or not, that they've actually getting paid.
Yeah,
for the
I know.
music. I'm mad.
Yeah. They got ripped
Tina
off
Turner,
millions. They did.
She didn't get paid for years, and it was I was getting all the money.
Was doing it with me.
It was crazy, and you just think to yourself, how does that happen?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know. Well, you mentioned
there
Bros.
was a guy called DMX. He was a rapper.
Yeah, I think Vegas.
He was massive name in the late 90s. He was in loads of films, some big Hollywood films.
Yeah.
Bless him now, he's passed on, but he was earning shit loads of money. I mean, like millions per gig. And he was walking away with like a couple of 100,000 after everything was paid back. It's only when you're watching the documentary back about DMX, you think, how much money he's lost.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, how much money you've got to pay managers and this and that.
Yeah.
And, you know, then before it comes down to you,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
who's fucking doing the show,
That's right,
whose name gets people in,
Yeah.
you're earning nothing.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
like,
right. There's a lot of other people
Wow.
that took the money off of us, the advance from EMI, the deal and all that. We got paid a pittance really for that. Everyone thinks you're this multi-millionaire, pop star, whatever.
Likewise.
It's always the same, yeah. And it's, we did well sort of after that. So we got very despondent. We sort of we haven't performed together for many years now.
what do you think, 20, 30, 20 years?
No, well, probably about 15, 20 years since we did anything recording-wise together and stuff. I've been doing a lot of solo stuff. I've done some musical stuff and all that, and written a lot of songs myself. Michael's done the same. But now the timing is now right to come back and, you know, and push it again, because the fan base is still there, and the, we've got the pull from people again, you know, from even off Facebook and stuff like that, and people are wanting us to perform again. And yeah, so I think it's right. And now we're fully independent ourselves. We're not contracted to anybody, so that's a good thing.
That's a thing with like me and MK. We rely on each other.
Yeah.
So we're a two-man team today.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're making it work. So as long as we've got that connection,
Yeah, sure.
anything's possible. Do you know what I mean? As long as you've got that cornerstone to build from, anything's possible.
Yeah.
And it was like Bros, as we mentioned earlier on. I grew up watching Bros. And a big split happened between them two brothers.
Yeah.
And they haven't really rekindled
No.
ever since, which is a shame, because they not only exploded onto the scene, but much like yourself, they had a cult following. And that cult following's always been there.
Yeah.
And I think, after watching a few podcasts that Matt's been on. I'd love to get him on a podcast. If you're watching, Matt, come on, man. I'm waiting.
It'd be good to get him on, yeah.
Please.
But again, they got ripped off for millions.
Yeah, and it's only like when you watch these podcasts back recently that he's done in the last year or so, you realise behind the scenes how corrupt it was and how hard it was. And
because they were thinking, they thought they were earning, it was their money. They didn't realise they got to pay it all back, like you say, that at the end of it as well.
And that's why they went to America to. And to be fair to Matt, he had a bigger career in America than he ever did in the UK.
Vegas he went to, I think.
He went to Vegas, and he's done. I think it was at one of the big casinos.
He got residency.
He got residency, and he's been doing the Frank Sinatra shows and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
But even to sing them sort of songs, to carry on that power, that vocal power.
He's a great singer.
Yeah, wow.
Really good singer.
And it's a shame. I just hope they do rekindle what they lost, because there's a big call, like you say, for comebacks to be coming
there
back.
is at the moment,
Blue have made a comeback. There's obviously you guys, and for Bros, and it's just a big call back, whether it's called a bit of reminiscence and nostalgia creeping back in as we're getting older, as you're saying.
I think that's what it is.
Midlife crisis and all that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Driving a convertible next.
That's it. I want to try it again while I can still stand up.
Well, I'm going for another hair transplant soon, so I'm holding on to it. I'm holding on to it.
And I'm on my Zimmer frame. I want to give
Buying
it a go.
New suit.
Yeah, that's right.
So what's the present day for?
Well, now I was going to do a lot of stuff, solo stuff. I've been working with the guy on the island where I'm living as well, in the studio there with him, doing various bits and other things. And I was doing a few sessions here and there for people and stuff. And it's only been recently now me and Michael have rekindled as well to put our differences aside. And now we said, right, let's do this. We had a meeting the other day with somebody, and the office great. So now we're going to be going out and do some shows. We'll probably do some like the Butlins Weekenders and them type of things, theatres and all that, and just go out just playing.
Minehead's really got some good headline acts. I've been smashing it down there for the last few years. And
these 90s things that are happening and stuff, the same way they do the 80s ones as well and all that. So it's going to be great for us, and it's just going to be great to be out performing again and get on the stage again, because you do miss it.
Cypher Films is an independent production company based in Enfield, London, UK. We produce documentaries, short feature films, social media videos, and provide photography studio space for weddings, christenings, and corporate videos.
If it's in you and it's what it's what you've always known and what you've always done, it's in your blood. You want to be out doing it, and there's nothing better than going out with my brother again, twin brother. It seems so. I think we're getting on better now than we ever have. So I think we're closer than we ever have. But give it time.
Give it time. We'd start myself. I mean, I never thought I would get a chance to act, and that would be my career, and that would be my sole career. So 4 years down the line, I've always dreamt about hosting my own talk show. Yeah. And meeting all these amazing guests that have got amazing stories to tell. And now it's happened.
Yeah.
But for you, your next journey, you've met someone really, really special. So you're living down in Colchester.
Yeah.
So your life is like sort of expanded into a different area as well.
So personally, I'm very satisfied at the moment and very content. I know this is going to be happening as well, so it just seems to be, fate, in a way. Because
life starts at 40, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, so there you go. So
that's exactly what happened to me.
So she's wonderful. She's my rock, really, with that, and you need somebody who's going to be supportive of that, especially in this business.
And where did you meet?
Your ups and downs. Well, we've been chatting for a while. We met on social media, so we got chatting and stuff and everything, and I went down and. But she's very creative herself. She's writing a book at the moment, which she hasn't finished yet. So, and that's another dream of mine. I'd love to write a book as well. So I've always wanted to.
What's the book based on?
Her book. I'm not too sure, to be honest. We haven't really gone into much detail about it. She hasn't mentioned it for a while, but I think it's sort of about her life, basically on her life and the ups and downs of life, and sort of to try and inspire other people about, that can learn from that and stuff,
That's what it's all about, really.
Yeah. And in my life, on that as well, because I had my ups and downs, what you do. And when you say, I
think without them ups and downs, without that controversy, without facing something bad head on, it's never going to test your resilience.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been homeless. I've been in a hospital bed with a broken neck and back. I've had my freedom taken away from me. I've lost everything a few times. And it's in the face of that adversity is where you find who you are.
Yeah, and your strength.
Yeah. Because when I look back at that and I think, wow, okay, if I can get through that, I can get through anything. Really.
Yeah, of course.
And I had an amazing girl called Helen Jones, her name was. Try and say it without crying again. Can't do that. I can't do that in another one.
Bless you, mate. Yeah.
And I let her down in every way I possibly could. And not intentionally. It was just I wasn't the person I am today.
Yeah, but it's never intentionally. You okay?
Yeah, and I just wish it should have come later in life.
Yeah, but you learn from
to make everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mate. To make everything, yeah.
You got any tissue?
To make everything perfect, but that probably won't happen now. You know, so for me to.
But never say never.
Yeah, for me to see someone who meets that special person that makes them feel not only content but complete.
Yeah,
is it's not only a virtue but it's a blessing.
Yeah.
And it's like when I see the pictures.
You okay, mate?
Yeah,
I see upset like that.
You
get me started in a minute. But I know where you come from.
Promise I wouldn't do
I've
that.
let people down in the past with certain things, and you do make your mistakes, and I've done it, and not intentionally. You know, you don't want to. You hurt people who are close to you sometimes, and it's because
I just wish I could say sorry. I wish I could say yeah. I didn't mean to fuck up like that. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean to do that, but I did. No,
but it'll all come good.
Yeah.
In the end. But you know, it's good that you can admit
it's good, yeah, to admit it, but learn from it.
And learn from
Thanks,
it as well,
MK.
of course it is, yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Yeah. It's to be able to learn from it.
Yeah.
It's the key thing. And to be able to look back and think, God, he was an idiot. He was a real fool. He didn't deserve it at the time. And I didn't, if that was the truth. Truth be known. If that chance for love ever comes around again, I know this time that I'll grasp it with both hands and I'll nurture it. I'll nurture it the way it's meant to be nurtured. But I'd rather have experienced that love than never experience it at all. Do you know what I mean?
All, of course.
For the love that she gave me for that 10 years, 9 years, or whatever it was, priceless. No one can ever take it away from me. So
but even that experience, and even if you say it wasn't like how you were, it's giving you something, strength or something inside you that's...
She made a lot of changes that I've kept. And changes that have changed my life. Changes that she gives to me is in confidence that someone who you've got that connection with makes you feel like
so
you
if
can
it
achieve
wasn't
anything.
for her, you wouldn't have had some of those things.
No, I wouldn't. No,
Does that make you feel more guilty looking back then because of that? What you've got now, because she's giving you that, and
to feel forgiveness is a virtue, and that's what Saviour did for me. Saviour gave me a chance to reflect on how far down the line I'd gone.
Yeah,
I had to be broken to be brought back. And God did break me down. He took away my faculties, I couldn't move for weeks. I was laying in the bed, crippled. And he rebuilt me. He did not abandon me. He rebuilt me into the person that could take responsibility of what's happening today. But most important of all, this platform is not for me. It's about for me to glorify his name, to glorify what he's done for me, and to be a witness to change and reform and all that, whatever you want to call it. So to see like pictures of you, is it Tanya? Is that name?
Yeah.
Blossoming, family time with your mum and dad, and special memories, man.
Yeah.
I envy that. I do envy that. I do wish I had that. I really
You'll
do.
get it.
I do. Oh well, I'll get on my own nerves, mate. So I can only imagine that. No, I get that. And to be honest, when I'm not on the road and I'm not staying in a train somewhere or in a hotel, I like to do nothing. I like to come home, lie with my dogs on the settee, put a podcast on, not worry about anything, not think about anything, not worry about shit. Just get on with life, enjoy the day.
Yeah,
Go somewhere, just do nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas women, they want to go shopping, don't they? Or they want to go here, or they want to go there.
Or watch Coronation Street or EastEnders.
Or they give you an ultimatum that no matter what you choose, you're going to get fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
So that side, I don't really.
Get the bed to yourself as well.
So that side, I don't really miss. I value my space. I do. But there's a few times where, you know, you want to go on holiday. Because it's a stigma attached. I don't know if it's just me being a bit weird, but is it a bit weird to go on your own, on the holiday on your own?
No, I don't think
as a single
so.
guy, is it? People are looking at you a bit weird, isn't it, to say?
I don't know.
What's wrong with
So
them?
not these days. I know a few people who go. So there's a couple of guys I know that go away.
I've not done it yet,
They
but
prefer their own time.
I'm thinking about it. I don't want to be that
Just-
one guy that's sitting with a beer in his own reception. and he said,
Let's Paul on the beaches on that rock.
Have a good evening, Paul. Yeah, see you in a bit, lads. Have a good evening, mate. Yeah, one for me. I don't want to be that guy, so I haven't done it yet. But I'm thinking about it. Whether it's I don't know, a trip round like I don't know, somewhere like Croatia or Bulgaria.
Yeah, those places are really supposed to be really nice.
around the Spanish islands or Greece.
Yeah,
Should. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to go and get wellied
you
every
get
night.
your
I
own
want to go out and
headspace to that, then, don't you? And you
see
can-
places
you
and
can-
remember shit when I've come back.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not go out there, get absolutely trashed for 2 weeks and
Yeah,
not
that's
remember
right.
anything. Come out with sunburn. Even that peels
that's
off.
right. Yeah, I know. Even that disappears in the end. Isn't it? But
But
yeah,
I think if you go to them trips, you'll be trapped. You'll meet someone. Someone will see you.
yeah, I think so.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I just, you know, you get that stigma attached. You think, nah. And why my dad's in the way that he is at the moment, I'm not always going to get the chance to go away with them on holiday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm going to do the
Yeah,
family
that's
thing
good,
while I
that is.
can. While my dad's still mobile and my mum still mobile, and they can go out and enjoy holidays once a year.
Yeah,
And that's what I mean. I'd love to be able to just like spontaneously say to my mum, "There you are. There's my card. Go and put yourself on holiday."
yeah.
To be able to give
That feeling is
feeling
amazing.
is if you could capture that, bottle it up and sell it, you'd be a millionaire within a day.
Yeah.
Because it's.
I've always been the same.
it's
When
the
you give
gratitude
someone
that you
some
get
of that
back
feeling,
from-
you get
yeah.
that satisfaction. You like, you're excited. They're going to be excited.
It's the
what their
gratitude that you
reaction's
get.
gonna
It
be.
makes you feel a bit selfish.
Yeah.
Because it's good to give.
Yeah, it is
It's
definitely.
like I support this charity. I don't give half as much as what I should do, and just to see these dogs getting like sacks of food, warms my heart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll probably never see these dogs in my life, but to know that they get rehomed and given a second chance, I've made that small change, somewhere in the world.
Yeah, of course.
That small good change.
Yeah.
There's not many of them out there, and if I can be a part of the good side, no matter how small it
I'm a
is,
believer that the universe
so
will
be it.
send that back to you at some point as well. If you be
Well,
good,
I don't do it for that. I do it
You've got
because
a good
I can.
heart. You can tell.
Do you know what I
that.
mean?
And if you've got a good heart, you know, my granddad always used to say to me, "Your riches come from your heart. Don't keep worrying about being the best footballer or the best guitarist or the best this and that. Your riches come from your heart." And he's got, you know, looking back, I suppose he had a point with that. You know, you do.
It's like what would you measure success from? Really, is it wealth? Is it freedom? Is it what you? Is it?
No,
is
it's
it
not
is
wealth.
it biggest TV, the fastest car? What is it? A suit you wear?
for me, no.
Success is like to see where you've been and where you are.
Yeah,
I think you can be successful in anything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be financial.
no,
I think it's consistency.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, success is having that heart to be consistent.
Being happy, having a happy life.
Yeah.
Just being steady and simple
And helping.
and healthy. Yeah,
Because
Once
the way
you start helping people, that's when you know
Yeah.
that I
yeah,
found myself.
because with
Yeah.
like social media and the stuff that's available now, people need to be living in a certain way and
yeah.
need to
yeah.
achieve certain things to be perceived as a success. And I think that's wrong. I just think
It's giving the wrong impression to the youth of
if you
today.
can change or manipulate someone else's future for the better without expecting anything in gratitude, and you can change that person's life and watch them blossom, surely that's a success.
Yeah, of course it is.
Surely that, from when you look back, especially from where I was, from not really achieving absolutely anything, to helping to change different people's lives is, for me, is that, oh, wow.
That's the ultimate, isn't it?
I never
to do
thought,
that.
and that's what I mean by God's mercy. Yes, it can probably put you on a path where nice things happen and you be able to afford nice things, but to be given the virtue of mercy and a second chance and not to fuck it up is for me.
Right.
Is for me.
That must be so warming to your heart and pleasing.
Well, it is, because I can actually make my mum and dad proud.
Yeah,
they can watch this and they can see what all the effort that they've worked for all them years hasn't gone to waste. Hasn't been all them years that they've spent doing 3, 4, 5 jobs to send you to the best schools, to give you a good childhood, moving to Tamworth and Telford. It all happened for what you are today. And like with you rekindling your friendship with your brother, I bet that's made your parents.
Oh, my mum's ecstatic.
Especially mums.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, also, my dad just sits there, he's oblivious to it.
Same as my dad. He's up in the shed making a woman seat or something, or a birdhouse.
Yeah, but she is. It's great, especially when you get. It's like I say, but when you get older, it's like you start to appreciate a lot more, and you look back and we've all fucked up. We've all made mistakes all our lives. I mean, I've made loads. I have, and I could have gone down the wrong path many times. You know, we all do, and people in my family and all that. But you look back and you start appreciating a lot more when you do get older, and more with my family as well, parents and stuff, far more than what I did when I was, in my 20s or in my teens.
When you're growing up, you think, "Damn, I'll get away. You're not cool enough. Ruining my street cred, mum.
Yeah,
drop me off down there so I can walk up to school.
Yeah, that's right.
But now it's like, I'll push the trolley for my mum in Asda. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
I really don't care. As long as my mum is easier, then that's me succeeded for the day.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like my mum will still, even when I drop my dogs off at my parents, I don't want to bring them in here because I'll be running around and knocking shit over. So I'll leave them with my parents, and I'll just say, "I'll watch how you drive and don't do this." I'm like, "Mum, I'm not 43 years old." Sound.
Never stop being mums.
No, of course I won't.
It's a good thing. It's a nice thing, though, isn't it?
And that's the reason behind my question with you and your brother, because obviously you're starting new music.
Yeah.
You're starting Rekindle, Gemini, from when you started, and to do it together. Well, you couldn't really do it apart, really, but to come back and do it together and make up this friendship and get back in the studio together, especially at their age where our parents are now. I bet they can just sit back and like, oh, finally.
Yeah, finally. That's a dream
Happy
for it.
ending.
Yeah. And I'm glad we're making it happen for that, because imminently it's going to be that, focusing on that. We've got a photo shoot to do. We've got a website to get set up. I'm going to get all the tracks sorted out for the set that we're going to be doing, and picking out which songs are going to be best for it. Obviously, we'll do the hits that we had, but other stuff that we throw into the show as well. And then just rehearsing. Yeah, so that's first and foremost now. And then just seeing what happens with it all.
Because once you've done all that, I'd like to get, obviously, you and your brother back
Michael
on.
would love to do,
Yeah, get you on as a duo.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And we can talk more about what...
Because then we'll probably be further down the line with what we're doing, and we might have some shows already booked in then, and so it'll be easier then. So we'll be further down the line with what we're doing.
But obviously, I want you to say to your guests, your fans, what's up and coming, where they can follow you on Facebook, social media, Instagram.
They will be able to, yeah. So yeah, you'll be able to follow us on social media. We're going to have a website set up. We're going to be coming out with new merchandise, new recordings. There's going to be some new releases. We may even re-release one or two of our old singles that we had back in the 90s. And we hope to see you at some of our shows, and we'd love you all to come. We're getting a great response so far, and we're really looking forward to it. So we hope to see you all there. Okay.
Brilliant. Well, David, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's been brilliant.
True podcast.
It's been great.
Cheers,
mate.
See you soon.
Yeah, I'll see you soon,
man.
mate. Thank
God
you.
bless.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, mate. And you.